In 2016, we were very lucky to get funding from the Police Crime Commission to start a project to raise awareness amongst vulnerable people who have a learning disability on what a hate crime is. And the area hate crime, disability hate crime, is underreported, and I was working with North Tyneside Council and Northumbria Police is to look at why the reasons might be.
So we run interactive workshops because one of the things that we know people with a learning disability don't necessarily identify the perpetrators. They don't remember telltale signs, or they can't identify streets. So what we do is we run one-to-one sessions, and we make it in a kind of really fun and interactive way. We do it in a fun and interactive environment where we play games. And one of the things that we do is we have like these cardboard cutouts, and they're kind of dressed up as people. We give people a few minutes to kind of dress them, and then we go around the whole session, and then we then ask them questions about what they look like. Did they have a tattoo on their face? Were they wearing glasses? What colour hair did they have? Because we know that if something did happen, that would jog their memory, so they would be able to give a description. Because quite a few people that we have supported to report a hate crime, what's happened is they haven't been able to give a description of the perpetrator, so straight away that falls straight down. Fortunately, some people that we have supported to report, there has been CCTV, so obviously the police can then can identify it and can then do the follow-ups. But we do know that a lot of people with a learning disability can't identify.
There are many different ways in which somebody can be targeted. They can be targeted because of how they look, about how they speak, or about what religion they come from, or even their sexual orientation. But what we do know when we talk about disability hate crime is that it is woefully underreported. And so our work, in collaboration with our partner, such as LD Northeast, focuses on ensuring that carers and support workers feel confident about recognizing what a hate crime is, but also for those victims to feel confident in reporting to the police that they have been targeted for who they are.
The majority of journeys that are made on public transport are enjoyable. There's only the very few that spoil it, and unfortunately when people hear about a bad experience, it does make them a bit fearful of public transport. Working with LD North East, we can go in and talk to their clients and show them that it's not unsafe and that you can do things and you can enjoy your experience. We can take them onto public transport, show them how to use machines, show them where to go to stand, where they can be safe on the carriage by telling them to be in the front end of the carriage. I always tell all of my users, sit in the front carriage of a metro train, the driver's in the front carriage of the metro train, he can help you or she can help you if there's an incident or a safety incident. Otherwise, there's the help point, there's emergency help buttons on the trains, there's also staff on stations. Go and tell them what your experiences is so we can make it better for next time.
As we take part in one of the seminars, we tend to use language and games to interact with the service users, because everybody has a different level of understanding, and it's important that they understand what is a hate crime, what is a made crime, and how it might affect them. But more important than that, it's really important how to express to those clients how they can come forward and be identified as a victim, who they can trust, who they can tell, and how they can report it. Because unfortunately, hate crime is massively underreported.
I was at the bus stop one day waiting for the bus to come up to LD. There was a group of lads come up to us asking me for money. And they were standing right in front of us, so I couldn't get off the seat. And at the time I did own a mobile phone, and I said to them, if you don't get away, I'll call the police. And then they just started swearing us and they spat on me coat. It was a horrible experience.
The other day I had a phone call saying that they were the police, and it was they phoned up to say I was going to get arrested, and they were going to I had to give them bank details and stuff, and I was really upset and shaking and that. So what I've done is I've phoned the police and told the police what happened.
Well, I've had bullying most of my life. Things like, oh, look at her, or look what she's doing, or look at the way she is, and I just don't understand why.
It's really important that we break down the barriers, because a lot of the clients have had from an early age ingrained in them that it's all right to be targeted, that it's all right to be a victim when it's not all right. It can take anything from a couple of weeks to a couple of years to get that trust within some of those service users.
So when people say this is just what happens to people like me, people don't believe me, I've been abused, why would I report eggs being thrown off my window? We just need to get across to people that this is not okay and that you should not put up with this level of abuse every time you step out your door for being you. This is what a hate crime is. And people who feel that they've got friends but they're not friends, they're people who are taken from them. I even know a lady who people paid her to steal because they told her she would not go to jail because she had a learning disability. So they would pay her £5 to steal £100 worth of stuff, but she said she didn't want to report them because they were her friends. So our workshops are about getting that message across that these people are not your friends, these are perpetrators, and that's really difficult if you have no one and they're the only people in your life. It's very difficult to get them to report that crime.
LD Northeast has always been our strong partner when reaching out to victims with learning disability. So what we try to establish with the partnership working is to have like constant visit with LD Northeast, also invite their staff to Victims First Northumbria as well to see what are the gaps, and also to encourage Victims First coordinators to learn more from LD Northeast staff about the needs of the vulnerable victims. And what that strong partnership has actually managed to increase is to build that confidence that vulnerable victims can come forward and seek support from organisations like Victims First Northumbria.
We've had quite a few people that we support fallen prey to text messages demanding money, online, social media. So what we've done is we've worked really closely with Northumbria Police and developed a presentation that we deliver online. Lots of people come and attend, and they can also get the opportunity to ask questions and discuss if they have been victims. And what we'd like to do is continue developing this work and raising the awareness to keep people safe.
We need to make people aware that being you is not a crime, but targeting you is. And we will continue to work in this area with local police to make sure that the community is a better place for people and that hate crimes are unacceptable.